Welcome to class 2, the business model. I'll discuss first the business need. For you to start this business, there are certain tools that you need. The beauty of this business is that you can start with little. It is not capital intensive. It just needs consistency and patience. With that, you can achieve much more than you can dream of. First off, you need a computer or a laptop or a phone. If you don't have a computer or a laptop, you can always use your phone. For you to take this course in the first place, that means you have a phone, and that is a good start. You can start with your phone, and then as you go on, you can, if you want, you can proceed to use a laptop or a computer. We have what we call cutting machine. This cutting machine are used to cut papers, especially art made with paper, and usually they make your work faster, neater, and easier. Examples of cutting machines are Cricut and Silhouette Studio. You can use either of them if you already have them to cut your art. If you already have them, I'm sure you know how they work, and I don't have to explain that much. But if you do not have them, you do not have a problem. You can work with a pair of scissors, because we are not going to be working with complicated art, paper art. And as a beginner, you can start with using a pair of scissors, and then as you go on, you can get your cutting machine if you want. Another thing that you need for this business is internet access, because you'll be working with a lot of online resources. You definitely need internet access, and also to reach your potential customers, you need internet access. You cannot do without internet access. Another thing you need is printer. You need a printer. It is very convenient to have a printer at home, but if you do not have a printer, you can always use a print shop. You can always go to where they print and print out your work, or you go to all these business card makers. You can go there and print out your work. You need paper. When we talk about paper here in this course, we're not talking about regular plain white paper that you see. There are different types of paper, and I think further into this course I'll discuss it. You need paper perforator. You need packaging materials to put your products for delivery, like a box where you put your items for delivery. Now let's talk about paper requirements. The type of paper commonly used in this business are photo paper, offset paper, cardstock paper, 180 grams above. We also have special papers called laminate sheets, glitter paper, estate. The G beside the numbers represents GSM, which is grams per square meter. This is the thickness of the paper. The paper has to have a thickness of 180 grams above. When we go on to have our practicals, I'm going to be showing you in the video what I mean by thickness. I'm going to show you the the papers I have with me, which are 180 grams, and I have some that are much more than that and less. So you're going to be seeing what I mean by 180 grams above. So when you want to purchase your paper, you make sure that the paper you're buying has the thickness of 180 grams above. It can be more, but it cannot be less. The type of paper you use can also affect the color and quality of your work. Photo papers come in two types, the glossy and the matte. The glossy photo paper are shiny, and the overall result is different from when you use a matte one. People tend to love the glossy one because it gives like a kind of shine to your work. It makes it look really pretty. The matte one too, depending on what you want to achieve with your design. none of these papers are bad. You just have to test them to see the one that you prefer. Personally, I use photo paper a lot, and I use offsets too, depending on what I want to achieve with my design. You'll be able to get this paper from big stationery stores. There are some stationery stores at the mall. If not, I've seen some on Gigi. You can just go to a local stationery store in your area and to see if you're able to find photo paper. But if you cannot find them in stationery stores, maybe ask a photographer friend, or go to people that print invitation cards and business cards. They are very familiar with this kind of papers, so you'll be able to find them there. Now, we have discussed so far. By now, I'm sure you have an idea of what this business is about. And you may be thinking that, oh, this business is not for me because I'm not creative. The good news is that in this business, creativity can be learned. If it is just about being naturally creativity, I wouldn't have progressed much in this business, because I'm not the most creative person. But today, the things I can achieve amaze me. If I was told years back that I'll be able to do things I am doing today, I would have argued. So in this business, it can be learned, and it is not even hard at all. It is not hard to learn the creativity at all. It's the easiest thing, and it is very enjoy. Personally, I enjoy it. It is something that you enjoy doing. So it can be learned, and there are so many resources to work with. You don't have to worry about art, because there are so many websites where you can get art that you can use to create your products. So for the purpose of this course, we'll be using Canva. Canva is the editing tool that we'll be using. You can use the free or paid version. You can do so many things with the free version itself, but you can do much more with the paid version. You can try Canva Pro for free for 1 month. I'm going to send a link to you. You can use it I'm going to send it to the group. You can use that link to access Canva Pro for a month. After a month, if you feel like, oh, I don't want to waste my money, it's not doing much for me, then you can cancel before the next renewal. If not, you can proceed. If you already know how to use other editing platforms such as Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Inkscape, Studio, you can go ahead and use them. And we have other alternatives to Canva too that you can use on your phone, like Pixel Lab now for Android. I don't use Android, so I'm not very much familiar with it, but I've heard that it is very, very good, and it has a lot of features that are free. So if you're using an Android phone, you can check out Pixel Lab. And Pixel Hub has something similar on iPhone called Buzz Art. You can try that one if you're an iPhone user. So, but basically, whatever you learn on Canva, you can easily use this. Their tools are usually similar, this editing platform. So you can always figure it out and use it on another platform. Now, there are two aspects to doing your designs. You or your customer can decide to do popular children themed. I think I mentioned it before, like Spider-Man, Little Mermaid. These, they already have a set color and elements. All you have to do is just go to this website where you can get free images, get them, and create your products. But I'll not fail to mention that you stand the risk of facing copyright issues by companies who own these themes. I recently heard that a lady in the United States was sued by Disney because she used their images for her product. So these things happen. I don't know the possibility of them happening in Nigeria, but never say never. So the other thing you can do is to create your own design by combining colors, fonts, and elements to create unique visual identity. You decide the best option for you depending on what you and your customer agree on. Here are some free resources on where to find free reality images and elements. You can go to freepik.com, pngegg.com, canva.com. If you are using Canva, you have access to some of their elements if you're on free, and you have access to all of their elements if you're on Pro. So Canva has a lot of resources to work with too. So if you cannot find anything on Canva that will apply to your work, you can always go to this other website and look for what you want, and you'll definitely get it on this internet. You will definitely get it. So on fonts, you can check thefonts.com. If you're on free Canva, you are not able to upload external fonts, but you have access to some fonts. But if you're in Pro Canva, you can upload font. You can download fonts from the fonts and upload it to Canva to use to create your designs. I think I'll explain more about these websites in the practical class. So you'll be understanding more as we go on.